I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to actual Tuesday. We have a
Yeah,
little late upload today, but
yeah. So if you were waiting for this,
at midnight.
yeah, we apologize. You know what's funny? There are days where I go on and I look at our stats and we've already
hmm
had plays by 8 a.m. or something like that.
Oh, wow. So sorry if you are the 8 a.m. crew,
Yeah.
but we are
Or
here
earlier. Or earlier.
or earlier.
Could
So, what?
No, I was gonna say it could be one of those people in one of those foreign countries.
Oh, true. If it's a time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because I'm used to Eastern time always being, we're always the ones
Yeah.
ahead.
I think
But
I always consider US time real time.
I
Everything
hate when
else
I
is
see
just made
something
up.
like Pacific time. Sorry for all the Pacific time people, but like
Yeah.
I hate when like I'm looking at something like even if it's like a job or something and it's Pacific time. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, you guys are so far behind us. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah.
Um so on social media recently, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lot of talk of like 2026 being the new 2016. Have you seen stuff like that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Um, like people are talking about music and all that stuff. So I thought it would be fun to talk about um how like the world changed between 2016
Yeah.
and I mean, I guess there's not much with 2026 because we're still in the first month, but just between then and now.
Right.
So that's what we're gonna do today.
So that's what we're going to discuss today. Yeah, and
That's what
I
we're gonna
think the
talk
big
about.
thing is if you think about it, we're pretty much not quite, but it's pretty much the same number of years or close to the same number of years before COVID and after COVID. Again, not exactly, but
Oh,
the
right, right,
interesting
right.
thing to me about that is COVID era was such a weird time in the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
And things before then and after then are so different. So a lot of the things that you can talk about, like
Oh
the,
yeah.
the measurements that you talk about, are really related to that. Things like people working from home. The number of people who
Oh
worked
right.
remote before COVID in 2016, especially, was it was very small numbers of people who were working from home.
Yeah,
And
like you have had to have a very specific job
yeah,
to be able to work from home back
yeah,
then.
and
Now
yeah.
you have everyone has work from home jobs.
Yeah,
Well,
and I think COVID
capabilities.
revealed to companies that can work. So
Mm-hmm.
we can operate with people. Especially the office jobs, right? The office jobs. Not to turn this into that discussion, but especially the office jobs,
Yeah.
because most of your office jobs, you don't need to go into a specific building every day to do them.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's I heard this thing the other day that there's like doctors now. It was talking about, AI and how like it's taking over and stuff. Like you can't
yeah,
even when you walk into a lot of fast food restaurants now, like nobody takes your order at the counter. It's
yeah.
like just the kiosks, which I don't know about you, but I kind of prefer.
I
But
like I like the kiosk, but I also don't. Not to that old person thing of I want to talk to a person. No, I don't like when I need to talk to a person and they're not even looking at your face because they're like, no, go deal with the kiosk. And it's like, no, but it's not a kiosk thing.
trying
It's a
not to make eye contact.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They apparently
That's me.
apparently they only hire introverts now because
Yeah.
they don't have to deal with people.
That's so funny. Yeah, but there was this thing that was saying how even some doctors now they can literally do like surgeons. They can do surgeries. There's basically a robot that operates on somebody and there's a doctor somewhere else who's literally like controlling that
Yeah.
robot to do surgery
That's
virtually.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I
Isn't that
guess
crazy?
I guess technically they could do more surgeries then, like the actual surgeon could do more surgeries then because they could have multiple robots in multiple rooms and he just goes and does this one and then he goes over and does the
Mhm.
next one but it seems like the surgeon is still the finite resource there. So if it's like the best surgeon in
Yeah.
the world for, you know, hernia repair surgery you're able to get, but he can still only fill so many time slots, so that's
True.
eventually the computers will take over and the AI will do your surgery.
Right. He's just training the robots at this
Yep.
point.
Yep.
Crazy. Um, oh man, okay, let me ask you this real quick before you get into it. Because speaking of robots, I saw this post. I can't remember how much money it was, but just hypothetically speaking, would you take $2 million to allow um, AI to use your face and your voice forever?
2 million. Wait, my face? Yeah, yeah. Oh
Your
yeah,
face and voice forever.
they'd be overpaying for my face. Um, yeah, I don't know because if it's the thing of it is like if you're somebody who's like if it's me, right? I
Yeah.
mean my whole persona is this podcast, which we have 44. That's one of my things. 2016 we had 0 subscribers. Today we have 44. But
Yay.
so those are the only 44 people who are ever seeing our faces, right? But
True.
so if you're somebody who isn't famous, yeah, that's a great deal. I don't care.
All
I mean,
right. So I
I
was
guess at
saying,
some point I might regret that if it was being used for nefarious purposes. Um, but if you're somebody who's like, famous, who's got like, then that's not even, that's not
I look
that's
at
not a
it
big deal.
like I'm not going to be alive forever. So once I'm not around anymore, like whatever, you're still using my face and my
True.
voice, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
True.
what's my face and my voice? Use it.
True. True. True.
Use it and give me that money to use while I'm alive. And
Right.
hopefully I
Make my
can make
life
that
better now.
stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then whatever. Yeah,
Also,
like you said.
you might end up becoming famous because of how they're using it, which would be okay too.
True.
Maybe. I don't know if being
Maybe.
famous would be good. Would it be good? I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh. Anyways, you want to go first with your.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up like the basic things like prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
2016 average gas prices were between 205 and 225. Now they're in the two up. I mean, this thing says 297. I think around us they're in the like 280s to upper 280s. I don't pay attention to
It's
gas because I drive.
240, 249 at one of the local gas stations.
Yeah, so
Yesterday.
220 to that over 10 years. Actually, not bad. Not
Yeah,
bad.
I don't think that's too bad.
Milk was another one. Average was 470 to 475 a gallon in 2016. Now they say it's $6 to 603 a gallon. I think that's a little high too, because I think at least where we are,
I pay
I
like
don't think we pay that
$2
much.
for a gallon of milk at Aldi.
Yeah, so I don't know. National average. So California and New York are skewing the average. I should have gotten Florida prices, right?
$6 for a gallon of milk is
I know.
crazy.
I mean, so maybe if you're buying no hate on TG Lee, but maybe if you're buying TG Lee versus buying Publix, because TG Lee is a lot more expensive than
Oh,
Publix, like the
true.
branded milk, which I don't.
Even at the gas
I don't get.
station, you're probably gonna spend
Yeah, true.
way
So
more.
that's
True.
eggs. Everybody with the egg pricing. Historically, they were in 2016 around $1.68 a dozen. I don't feel like they're a lot more than that now, except those
That's
weird
about what I
times.
pay now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they go up a bunch. So
Again, like obviously if you're buying the higher quality, expensive,
right.
higher brand eggs, but
Eggland's Best or something like that. Yeah.
my Aldi eggs are probably about that. Like
Yeah.
definitely under $2.
Yeah. Except for back, a couple of months ago when the eggs were at a premium there for a bit. So I don't know what just happened there. So
Me
let's see,
either.
mortgage rates. Well, interest rates are obviously higher. They were 3.7 in 2016. They're 6.6 now. So that's a lot. That's a big difference.
Yeah, that is.
And that really impacts your mortgage payment. But
Mhm.
because when we got ours, it was around 3, and we bought ours in 2022. So even then, it was still low. But and this is the last one I'll go through with numbers. But median home prices in 2016 were around 233,800. Now it's around 405. So that's a big jump. But that's also been that's through the whole housing boom. Did you hear? Speaking of that, one of the things the president wants to do, which I think is great, is they want to put some things in place to curb the corporate buying of single family homes. So there's a company, the company we rented
Oh,
from
yeah.
before we bought this house called Invitation Homes. They are the
Mhm.
biggest owner of rental property in the country.
Yeah.
And they literally own just like tons of homes. I mean, I think they own two homes in our neighborhood that's only 140 houses, right? That's not good. Like these giant big corporations, I'm gonna say evil corporation, no, corporations like buying single family homes, all that does is drive up the price. And the other downside of it is it's more rental properties and less owners. Like in a neighborhood like ours, I'd much more prefer to have people who owned homes in here than people who are renting homes. Simply because like when we rented, we were everybody's favorite renters because we took care of the property like it was our own. Like if our landlords loved us because we took care of the property like it was our own. Our neighbors loved us because, I go past the house that we used to rent in here now and it just doesn't look as good. The lawn isn't taken care of as well. Plants are like growing up to the ceiling, like that kind of thing.
But honestly, not to interrupt you, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like that's just a person thing. I
Right.
think I really believe that that same person, even if they owned the home, they would still probably treat it the same.
Yeah, that's you're
Homeowner or
probably right.
not homeowner, I think they would treat it the same
I just
because it's
I
like that
just think
messy person, someone who's
yeah,
messy in a public bathroom. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to tell me that they're just a super clean person at
right.
home and everywhere else, you
But
know?
I
Like,
also feel like somebody who's a good renter is also somebody who, because they respect the property that they live in, because not even that they respect it, because they care about what it looks like. Because that was always the thing to me of, it's not my home, I don't own it, but I care how it looks because it's still a reflection of me, right? So somebody who's got that mindset will eventually own a property. Like they're somebody who will eventually own a property. Um,
mhm.
and but yeah, they're doing something to. I don't know that it was some executive order he put out, and I don't know. I think he wants Congress to like you know make a law to make it like more permanent, but just to cut down on that because that's all that does is drives the prices up. So then one of these people that's renting from them who might want to buy a property, it becomes unattainable because when you've got a company that has unlimited supplies of money, um, buying houses, they can kind of artificially drive the price up. They're still trying to pay the lowest they can, right? Because it's all about their bottom line. But it's just it makes it harder for regular people trying to buy a house. That wasn't our
I,
topic.
I always, I always at least like figured, I would prefer to anyways rent from like a, private, private renter, like someone who buys a house themselves and rents it out,
Right.
because I think that person is probably charging you less because they don't need as much profit as they don't need to charge you as much rent
Right.
to get as much profit. Like these companies, the thing is, it's just like in an apartment or something like that. Like those companies,
Yeah.
they're going to raise your rent every single year when you
Well.
renew, regardless if they're giving you more amenities,
Right.
regardless if they're upgrading your home in any way, regardless if you're getting anything extra. Shoot, here like the gate doesn't work at
Right.
renewal time. Like actually, it
Yeah.
should go down, but what did it do?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
goes up.
Yeah, and well, the
So
the thing is, when it's a corporation like that, though, like think of the company you work for, right? Every year, health insurance costs go up. Every year, people
right.
want raises. People want to get, a
Mhm.
raise because I've been here another year and I've learned more and all that. So people want raises
Yeah.
every year. So the corporate costs that go up that have nothing to
Mhm.
do with the property
Oh, right.
result in
Yeah.
the rent having to go up because now we've got to
Exactly.
cover those costs. Where when
Mhm.
you're renting from
True.
and there's somebody up the road in here who owns, I think he owns two houses in here other than the one he lives in,
Mhm.
And he's always said, yeah, if I have a good renter in there, if I have somebody that takes care of the property and they're not, calling me every 5 minutes because they broke something or like
Yeah.
I'm not going to raise their rent any more than I need to because that my costs went up because I want to keep the property rented. I want to keep that income source flowing.
Like
And
as long as they're
yeah, the
paying the
corporate
rent every
ones,
month and taking care of the house, like, and even me, like, I am a renter and I take care of any home that I'm in just because I live here. So I
right?
want it to look nice because I live here. Like for myself, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like,
yeah,
do you take
yeah,
showers so that
for
other people
yourself
don't
and
smell you,
also
or because so that you don't smell
yeah,
yourself? You know
that's
what I
true.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, but yeah. Well, yeah, that too. I mean, I want it to be a nice house, but I
yeah,
also, there's the like when it's a house too, there's all the exterior things that nobody else really or you're not looking at as often as other people are. And
hmm,
but I still care when I drive up. What does the house look like?
yeah,
Is it
exactly.
clean? Is it, all that. So
True.
that was a little off topic, but not really because it went into that. Because I also think in that time, especially over COVID, again, I think those corporate rental ownerships went up, or actually
Yeah.
when the last crash happened, those probably went up. So what do you got? That's all the financial things I got. I got two other ones that are, or a few other ones that are unfinancial related, but let's go into yours.
So I have that the world population grew from 7.44 billion in 2016 to 8.30 billion in 2026. That means Earth added roughly 860 million people in 10 years. Is that a lot? I don't know why. I don't have any like sense of
Yeah, I don't
numbers
know.
really with that.
I don't
Like
either. That sounds like
860 is a lot, I guess, but
yeah. At what point will the Earth's rotation slow because of all the extra people? Or, you know, I
I
don't
guess like
know.
I look at it like there's also, not to get dark, but there's also people like passing away in that amount of time. So like
Well, yeah,
I
but
guess we are replacing more people than we're losing
right. That's if the population
significantly.
increases. Yeah, if the population
You
increases,
know?
it means we're adding more than are leaving.
That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of crazy when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Which I saw on the news yesterday that the life expectancy it was like updated or whatever, and they're saying that people can start or can or will be starting to live until 150. Could
Yes.
potentially live until 150. I
Yes,
was like,
just in time.
what?
That's just
Right.
in time.
Just in time.
Thank
Right.
goodness.
I was like,
I was worried
they say
about that.
because of like modern medicine and
Yeah.
things like that,
And I
practices
think
like that.
lifestyle too, right? I mean,
Hmm.
if you think about lifestyle today, people eat more healthy than they used to. People work out
Right.
more,
Right.
like that kind of thing. And that contributes,
Hmm.
right? If you're eating clean and you're exercising regularly, so your body is just, pumping and
Yeah.
healthy and all that, you're more likely to have a little bit longer life.
And we have
And
more information regarding,
sure.
health and stuff like that too.
Yeah, like they used to
What's
think
bad for us.
smoking cigarettes was healthy.
Crazy. Yeah,
Who
they
knew?
said it made you skinny. They said smoking cigarettes makes you skinny back in the day. So
Wow.
all the ladies were going for it.
Yeah.
All the ladies were lighting up. Um, so I also have that Netflix went from about 93.8 million subscribers in 2016 to 325 million by the end of 2025,
I
meaning
have a
streaming
theory on
became default.
I have a theory
What?
on that though. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I have a theory on that. Part of that is because they stopped letting people share their Netflix account.
True.
That's a that number's
they
skewed.
Netflix sees that number and they say, "Yes, it
Yeah,
worked."
yeah. And that's what we were talking about.
True. Well, this is more about like saying basically how streaming became the default way for people to watch TV. But I feel
Yeah.
like that was similar in 2016, maybe. I mean, I guess
Mm,
maybe more people had cable back then, though.
more people had we had cable back then. Um, yeah, you know one that I found that was kind of interesting to me. It was talking more about like social media stuff, and
Hmm.
remember everybody used to be the Snapchat filters, like the puppy dog Snapchat.
Yeah, the
Like
the
everybody
dog
was
filter.
that was back then.
Yeah,
The dog filter, yeah, on Snapchat. Everybody
crazy.
with the silly
Everyone was
Snapchat
doing
filters.
that.
That was everybody
Hmm.
was starting their selfie game back then.
Right. Now we have filters that like change your whole face that you'll like
Yeah.
see
Or
someone. I've even used it
have
before where it's like, oh,
have you seen these
wow, this
ones?
makes me look so different.
Yeah, there's this one I keep seeing on TikTok where people just take a photo and it makes them dance. It makes the person like some
Oh
weird
yeah.
dance. I've seen people do it with dogs too, which really looks weird because it tries to give the dogs human hands, but they look like dog hands because they're covered with fur.
We should do an A&M podcast version
Yeah, let's
of
not.
us dancing.
Yeah, let's not.
True. I would
It
rather regular dance.
it might go viral, but let's not.
That's not what we want to go viral for.
No.
We want to go viral for our humor. So, okay, in 2016, ordering food was a treat, but by 2026, delivery is a default, even for snacks and coffee. You
Very
know,
true.
did I ever tell you the one time I did a DoorDash, and we should talk about like our DoorDashing experiences one
We should.
time.
Yeah, that could be an upcoming episode.
But I was
Stay
doing a
tuned.
DoorDash and someone just ordered one coffee. And it's so funny because like I've been at the point before where I've almost ordered a Starbucks like multiple times, and then I get out of it because like obviously I know how much my coffee is when I go to Starbucks. Like I know how
Right.
much it is when I go to the store, pay for it. It's six
Right.
dollars and $6 and change.
Hmm.
But every single time I'm like, man, I want Starbucks. I don't feel like going anywhere. And I get on the app and I do the whole thing and I add my tip. It's like 15 plus dollars.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And that
man, and then that's just for my coffee. I'm not
yeah.
even getting a snack or anything with it.
Right.
Like,
Well,
ugh.
at that point, you're almost better off adding the other stuff than the snack and all that,
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
for
like,
real. Anytime I'm just about to order like one thing on there,
yeah,
I always get out of it or I end up just adding a bunch more things because I'm like, well, at this point I might as well pay like
yeah,
$10 more for these couple other things that I could use.
yeah,
Make
yeah.
it worthwhile.
Jay's done that. He's been like, oh, I feel like a Starbucks. Do you guys want anything? And we'll be like, no. And he'll
Yeah.
start doing it. Go, well, it's not worth it if I'm just getting one. Or he'll feel bad that
Yeah.
he's making somebody run him one coffee. Like what that person is thinking. Like, really? Like one coffee? You had to order one coffee?
Yeah, I mean, I never minded, hey, you're getting paid either
Like
way.
you don't have a
Like
Keurig at home?
as long as you're tipping,
Exactly.
I don't
Well,
care. I'll go get your one coffee happily.
yeah, that's it. The person doesn't care. They're delivering an order. They're happy they had an order.
Yeah. So, okay, internet access went from about 44% of the world in 2016 to about 74% in 2025, meaning billions more people are online now.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, explains
People
why my
didn't have
internet's
internet
so
access in
yeah.
2016?
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that is because of like the Starlink internet because that's like
Oh.
everywhere, because part of the drawback is, like in the mountains in Montana somewhere or whatever, you know,
Oh,
who's
right.
running internet lines there? You know what I mean? So if you had anything, it was probably like it had to be either some kind of, you know, cell phone setup or something like a Starlink, and I think that's now like more common.
How do I connect to Starlink?
You have to
Why
buy
wouldn't they
a
use it?
you
Oh.
have to buy it's like a receiver. It's like I don't know, it's about the size of a laptop and it's a little it's like an antenna receiver thing that you have to buy, and
Hmm.
then it's like it's expensive. It's
I
expensive. I
saw
think it's a
someone
couple
on a
hundred a month.
boat and they were like, they were using Starlink.
Yeah. When we were on the I think it was the cruise in Italy. They had internet on the boat, and I'm pretty sure it was Starlink based.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so this is kind of like what you were saying. Globally, remote work went from being rare in 2016 to settling at roughly 25 to 30% of work being done remotely in the mid 2020s,
Yeah.
even after return to office pushes. 25 to 30% seems low though. Or maybe I'm just looking at the, you know,
Yeah.
different, like I guess if you think like overall the different types of jobs that you
Yeah.
can't be remote in, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Like
I mean,
overall.
like a plumber, you
Yeah.
can't do that from home.
Although that might be coming, you
Yeah.
know?
With the robots, he'll just
Like
send
even
up.
if you honestly,
It'll be
even if
like
you
the
think,
surgeon, but it'll be a robot, and the actual plumber
yeah,
will be sitting in the shop somewhere.
even if you think of like telehealth and stuff, like you don't even technically need to go to the
Yeah.
doctor for everything anymore.
Yeah,
Like
and
you
I
can
I
just,
think that's another thing though that became big during COVID, right? Because
yeah,
uh, doctors' offices didn't want people in there, even if it was just, you had something that wasn't COVID related. They just didn't
yeah.
want as many people in the office, I think. And telehealth is good too. I mean, like for a lot of things, they're,
Hmm.
you know, 90% of probably what people would go to the doctor's office for, they can, what's weird? Um, I had an eye appointment, and it was at an
Hmm.
office, at a doctor's office. And I went in and they put me in all the machines. The guy, took me through all the little machines that measure your eye and all that stuff and the charts and all that. And then he said, okay, the eye doctor is going to meet with you virtually. I'm like, what? So he takes me in this room, and there's a big screen there, and the eye doctor comes on the screen, and they're
What?
looking through all my results, and they tell me, oh, and your prescription needs to be adjusted to this. And the eye doctor themselves was not, they didn't have one in this office. They did them virtually.
It's giving Doctor Evil, like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? You're
Especially
saying like
since
you
they
go
were
in
on a
there, he
much
comes
bigger
up on the,
screen. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I mean. He comes up on the big screen.
yeah,
Hello, Michael.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I thought at the
Uh,
time I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I realized I
yeah,
didn't actually like it because
yeah.
it just doesn't feel as like for that kind of thing, especially it didn't feel personal.
Oh, this is a cool one. Streaming creators went from internet famous in 2016 to landing mainstream sponsorships, TV deals, and headline status by the
Yeah.
2020s.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a thing that talked about like influencer stuff was just starting in 2016, and it was
Mm-hmm.
more like the Kylie Jenners, that were
Yeah.
like people who were already somewhat known that were becoming influencers and that kind of thing. And now it's anybody, it's a mom who posts things about, stuff that her kids
Yeah.
play or that kind of thing. Um that are
Yep.
getting sponsorship deals. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, because I saw something the other day and it was talking about uh, I can't remember what the stat was, but it was like one in every 300 people or I don't know, something small like that are now in the I don't know if it was in the world or yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the world are now millionaire status. And like a crazy amount of people pretty much hit millionaire status every day. And I kind of think a big part of that is because of social media. Like so many people, if you look at what some of the influencers make just off of like one sponsorship in one video or one post or whatever, it's insane. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
$10,000 just for one one post talking about something. Like
Yeah.
of course they're hitting millionaire status like real quick too cuz I think
Yeah.
especially with how social media grows, like there's some people that I've followed on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and they blow up like significantly just over the course of 1 year,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
I think it's like one of those when somebody catches on. And it's funny because there's a few like YouTubers that we've followed for a long time, Um the one guy does like a lot of Disney stuff and that. and it's been amazing, like from the beginning of watching his stuff till now, to see like the growth, like not just the growth of the channel in that, but you can
Hmm.
see like the impact on kind of the financial status of the person,
Mm.
you know, the types of things that they're doing in the
Oh
videos
yeah.
early on versus now is yeah, it's wild. It's
I
wild.
knew this one girl who she knew this couple who like she knew them personally and they started making videos and she said that like once they started getting actual money off of their videos, they ended up getting a nice house and she went over to their house and um she's just like, "Man, that YouTube money is real." Because, she obviously sees their videos that her friends are posting online and stuff, but I guess you don't correlate it to actual money until, it's always that thing of like you can't hide money. She
Right.
never correlated it to, wow, you guys are actually making money off of just like doing these videos until
Yeah.
she goes into their house and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah. I
so
always
this is a
wonder with
real
that.
job."
Yeah, I always wonder with that. And it is, right? People that do like a lot of that kind of stuff, like it's a full-time job. It seems like it's, oh, they're just living the life and that, but it's a full-time job. I mean, even this little thing, the amount of time that you and I have to put into it, you know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like a part-time job that doesn't pay you
Yeah.
anything. Um,
I
but um, but
It's
my thing
volunteer
with,
work.
yeah, yeah, I actually put it down as volunteer work on my taxes.
True.
Um,
Yeah,
but
actually, let me go amend mine.
yeah, but um, but I always wonder with that, like, because things are so, you know, trend based and that, when you're somebody like the guy I'm talking about, you know, the same thing, right? They bought a nice new house in a really nice neighborhood
Mhm.
and that. But I'm always like, okay, but like, do you go get a mortgage on that property, or is it that you have saved up so much from what you're making off of the channel that you just went and bought it outright? Because me, my nervous thing would be
Yeah, I don't know.
like, okay, this has been my primary source of income for say 5 years, and then for whatever reason it goes away. You know, it can be you say something that you shouldn't say, or somebody digs up something that you said years ago or whatever, and suddenly you lose all that sponsorship money, you lose, you know, the viewers, whatever. Like, what do you do then? You know, you
Well, I think it's that they're making such a large amount of money in like so quick, I guess. Like think about it. If you're making I think that's also though why a lot of them do kind of veer off and do other things. Like you'll have makeup creators who create a brand and obviously you always have the chance of getting canceled, but I guess just don't do
right,
anything worth getting canceled.
right,
But
true. That's a
like
good
they'll
general rule.
true. They'll try and find like other streams of income as well in terms of creating merch or creating like an off separate brand or
Right,
man, if I was them, I would be buying like a fast food chain or something like
right,
that to
right,
also create income.
right.
But I
That
think
that
at the
and
same time, like their sponsorships are giving them so much money in a lump sum. Like I always say how I would like a job more that gives me all my whole paycheck at one time of the month over like throughout the course of a month because then I could see like it's just one lump
nope,
sum.
nope.
But at
Talk
this
to somebody who's done that. Actually, I
Brandon
did I
Brandon
do
said he
that at
liked
one
it.
point? Did he
Brandon said he
really?
liked it cuz he would
I
yeah, way back in the day. He said he would just pay all his bills. He said that he liked it more cuz he would be able to like truly see how much he has left after paying all his bills instead of it
Yeah,
being
that's fair.
like,
If you're bad at, I mean, I
okay,
guess
I'll pay
I
this
imagine
here.
if you're bad at budgeting, it's terrible because you're going to get that big lump sum of money. You're going to pay some of your bills, and you're going to go, you know, I got all this cash left. I'm going to go, you know, on a trip or you know something like that. But if you're good at
No.
budgeting, yeah, it'd be great if they'd give you your paycheck at the beginning of the year, and you know you'd be set for the year. No
Let me
company would
just
do
pay
that
all my
because you know you
yeah.
might leave in the middle of the year, but.
Um, but yeah, I think with the influencer situation, like they're just getting, they'll do one sponsor. Think about if they have two videos a month, or not a month, a week, and they have a sponsorship, right? They have a sponsorship, at least one sponsorship in each of those videos that's
Hmm.
giving them 10,000. That's 20,000 for just that week.
Right.
Two videos the next week, two videos the next week, same thing.
Yeah.
Not counting any post. Let's say they do a post over here that they get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 for.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's such a large lump sum amount of money every month that it's like, the, I don't know. I feel like you're almost put in a position of, unless you're just a high spender that's just buying frivolous things, but eventually, even then, I imagine you would run out of things to buy,
Yeah. Right. Well,
you
and
know?
I just wonder, like, the companies that do the sponsorships. This is the amazing thing to me about it is they're not going to pay those sponsorships if it's not coming back to them. In other words, if they're not getting a
Yeah.
benefit out of paying a sponsorship for an influencer, then you know they'll maybe do it once and go, well, that wasn't, we didn't get anything out of that. Where so that's the thing to me that's amazing about it is, and that's why to get the sponsorships you've got to have the views, the followers, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
because they're not going to pay you if you've got 44 subscribers on YouTube and maybe you get 2,000 views a week. That's not, those 2,000 eyes on your channel aren't enough for them to say, yeah, we want to give you some money to talk about our stuff.
True.
Um, so yeah.
Um,
So definitely the influencer game is much different now than it was in 2016.
oh, 100%. I think 2016 is definitely when it started. Like, that's the era that a lot of the influencers were starting to make videos and, the tutorials
Right.
and all that. But, Instagram alone is so different. TikTok, I don't even think was a really big thing back then.
Yeah, I don't. Did it even exist back then? I
I
don't
think it
know.
was more about, yeah, I think it was more about YouTube. Yeah, I don't think it did. I
Yeah,
think it
or
was
what was
more YouTube
what was
based
the
back
other
then.
there? No, there was another short video.
Oh, Vine.
Vine, right? Yeah, that
Um,
I don't. Is it still there? Does it
no,
still
I
exist?
think it's what TikTok is now.
It
Or it was Musically. It went
yeah.
Vine, Musically, and then
Oh,
I think
okay.
TikTok.
Oh, okay. And
So
MySpace is still there, but
MySpace been gone.
nobody, yeah,
Nobody's on there.
nobody's
It's a
on there.
ghost town. Um, so global e-commerce sales rose from about 1.3 trillion in 2016 to 6.3
Ooh,
to 6.3 trillion in 2024. So even higher probably now,
yeah, yeah.
meaning online shopping turned into the main way people buy things,
Well, yeah, and
which
you think of the store
guilty.
chains because the trade off there, right, has been brick and mortar stores have gone away, some of them.
Oh
And
yeah.
you think of like the store chains that were around, like the one that always hits me is Bed Bath and Beyond, because we used to have one by us that we used to go to and get coffee and that there because they sold that. Um, and that's one of them that's now, well, they're not gone because they actually got bought by, I think Overstock.com bought the name anyway, so now they operate under that name as a e-commerce only, and that's happened with other stores too, where they used to be a store and now it's just online, under the same name.
Yeah, what was it? Forever 21. That was like a huge like specifically mall
Chain, yeah,
store, but just
yeah.
chain clothing store, and they don't exist as a physical store anymore,
Oh, I
but
didn't
they
know
still
that.
have, yeah, they went
Wow.
away I think last winter, probably about a
So
year ago.
wasn't forever.
Wasn't forever, but it's still online. Like, you can
Got you.
still, I guess, go online and buy things.
Yeah.
So they just got to, I think it's just because, I don't know, I kind of, I prefer both. Like, I love a good quick Amazon order, but honestly, sometimes that's just because some things are cheaper on Amazon
True.
than in the store, or
Yeah.
they'll have like a deal of the day on it, or they'll have like a 15-20% off subscribe and save. So I'll sign up for it so that I can like,
Right.
get the deal where, okay, now it makes this box of Rice Krispie treats, maybe a few cents or dollar cheaper than if I got it in the store. So, I do it more for like the deals, I guess sometimes to a convenience,
Right.
but Amazon also just had like batteries. Their batteries are way cheaper than any batteries that I can get in the store, and
Yep.
I can get way more of them. So
Yep.
obviously I'm going to do
100
that on
box for like
Amazon.
$20 or something. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I buy. I buy that big 100 box for like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
So,
what? Another one that I came up with that was kind of an interesting one that I hadn't thought of was um, in 2016, a lot more places you went would take cash, and now most places I feel like don't take cash anymore. Like a lot of places you go don't. Even a lot of the places like Disney. I know most of the places in Disney like are cashless. It's just like
oh,
credit
really?
cards only. Yeah. Um,
Oh, that's surprising.
and even I feel like a lot of places uh like food truck related things even they're like cashless now because and
Yeah.
I mean not just from the standpoint of like dirtiness, right? Because I think that was a COVID thing too. They didn't want people handling cash. If I'm like somebody running a food truck, I don't want to be carrying all that cash around in that food truck. You're just
Yeah.
setting yourself up
Or
to be
just
robbed.
worrying about it.
Yeah, yeah. You got to keep track of it. Like you could
Mhm.
just lose it, in there. You drop money or whatever. That doesn't happen when once somebody scans that on that, on that reader, you're paid. Your money's, put away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've noticed like even which I love, a lot of like more places, pretty much everywhere except Walmart and Hobby Lobby has Apple Pay.
Have to pay. Yeah, yeah,
So, uh obviously that makes things like you'll go to the
yeah,
farmers market, like somewhere that you don't even expect. Or like you said, even so many of those little like food trucks and vendors and stuff,
yeah,
tap to pay.
yeah,
Like some
yeah.
little business that you wouldn't expect to have tap.
Yeah, we were in a Walmart that had like updated all of their because we were at the self checkout and they had
Hmm.
updated all their self checkout machines, but they still didn't have tap to pay. I'm like, come on.
You know what's crazy? We were oh, we needed to get a helmet and like elbow pads and knee pads the other day. And we were like, "Oh, let's just go to the Walmart here right by the house." And then as we pulled in, we remembered like neither of us had our card, like our physical
Hmm.
card.
Hmm.
And we're like, "Ah, wait, we can't go here cuz we don't have our cuz like even my phone, like I have my wallet on the back, but I only have my ID in it. I don't have my cards."
Right.
So,
See, see, y'all make fun of this giant wallet on the back of my phone, but I have every card I could ever possibly need and
you
my
have
ID.
you have
Look
like
at,
a whole
I
separate
got more in
phone.
there.
You have a whole separate phone on the
I
back
do.
of
It
your
actually is wider than my phone. If you look at that, uh,
ridiculous. But you said wallet on the back of my phone? Yes, I'm gonna have every. He has his passport card in there. He has.
yeah, got my birth certificate. I
Yeah,
got everything.
yeah, social security card. Um, but yeah, so like we turned around and we were like, well, I guess we'll just go to Target or Five Below or something because
Yeah,
I can't go to Walmart. I literally can't check out here. So
yeah,
yeah, I love that. E-commerce. Oh, and not to mention just all the small businesses in general, I think too. Like there's a
yeah.
lot more online small businesses because of Amazon, like places like Amazon. It's way easier for people to kind of start up their own small business,
True. That is true.
you
Yeah, and
know.
there's a lot more of that now. You're right. Like, and
Yeah.
that goes to the millionaires thing too, though. It's not just that like
Oh,
influencers. It's
yeah.
people that are going online and starting their own e-commerce businesses. It's so easy
Yeah.
to do. Matter of fact, I think after I get off the
Yeah.
podcast, I'm going to go do that. Um, and
Well, because too, like I was looking into it at one point, and they do make it super easy where you almost don't even need any, like, if you do it correctly, you need very minimal, even upfront money
right, yeah, yeah.
to
You
start
you
it.
don't
You
need
don't
to
need to
hold
buy a bunch of
inventory.
inventory.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
It's
drop
crazy.
ship.
It's crazy.
You
Like I
drop
said,
ship. You
I'm
don't need
doing
to
that after we get off the
pre-buy.
podcast.
Yeah, you don't need to pre-buy anything.
Yeah.
You
No,
just list photos of the product,
yep.
and when somebody buys it, they pay for it. It ships from wherever it's coming from. The
Yeah.
only
And
thing
the
I
drop
don't
ship
like
thing is
about
kind of
that,
cool because they'll even brand it, like they'll brand the shipping with whatever your company is.
right? Yeah, I was gonna say like the only thing I guess I don't like as much about it is the you don't have as much control, but like
True.
on what it looks like when it's leaving to
Right.
someone,
Right.
but
Right.
you know, I think
But if
it
it's,
makes it
I feel
that
like if
much
it's a
easier.
reputable drop shipper that you're working with, um,
Yeah.
like, that won't be a problem. And if you're working with an one that's not reputable, well, then that's on you,
Yeah. Like
One,
I can
one,
start up a business and make full profit
yeah,
and
and
I don't have
just
to
sit
spend
home
any
and put my feet
first.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
literally, you just have to manage the business side of it as far as. And I feel like if I
mm,
did that though, if I started a dropship business, eventually I'd want more control. I would want to be,
yeah, of course.
paying like a 3PL, a third party logistics company
Yeah.
hold my inventory and do my shipping and all that because you're going to make
Yeah.
more money that way than you will off
Right.
of the dropship. But one other
Yeah.
thing I thought of though, 2016, Donald Trump became president. 2026, Donald Trump is still president. How about that?
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's not one that, I mean, normally over a 10-year span, you wouldn't have the same person
You wouldn't, yeah.
president. So that was,
That's a cool little fact.
yeah.
Um, oh, here we go. The global box office went from about 38.6 billion to 33.5 billion.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that it
theaters
actually,
never fully returned to peak.
right. Yeah. And I think that
Crazy.
has more to do with streaming and that though, because there's a lot of stuff that would have gone to movie theaters. Like I read something today about a Star Wars movie that they were going to make, a trilogy, I think that they were going to make, that
Yeah.
they're now retooling it and they're going to make it into a Disney Plus series. So that's one that never went to the movie theaters. People will pay for the streaming services because, you know, Apple TV Plus and Netflix and Prime. How many like first run like movies do they have with like names like stars that aren't movie theater movies? They're just on
Yeah.
on their platform. So that's, I mean, a lot of
Mhm.
that has to do with this platform stuff too.
Yeah, because I think companies also realize like, it's expensive to go to the movies.
Mm,
Like we went the
mm,
one day, five of us to go to the movies, five tickets, one thing of popcorn, one drink. It was like over $100,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe
and
it. I
like
believe it.
well over 100, maybe closer to 150, just for like to watch a movie. I think
Here's
a lot of
here's a
times,
hack. Sneak your snacks in. Don't
well, yeah, but
no.
can't sneak popcorn in. I
Don't
mean, I
don't
guess I
sneak
can.
don't sneak your snacks in.
I
That's
usually sneak some snacks
allegedly
in. Like
that's
I'll
the only
buy.
way the movie theaters make money though. They don't make a
No,
lot
because
on the movie.
even if I snuck snacks in, like we only got a drink and a popcorn that day,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
So that wasn't much of it.
it still would have been like a lot of money, like a ticket, and that was matinee prices too. I think a lot of companies realize that okay, all these people have these streaming services already,
Right.
so let's just release this movie on this streaming service, or
Mm-hmm.
because even in terms of when movies come out, like if it's in the movie theater, it'll be on one of the streaming services
Within a
like
couple of
within a
months, yeah.
yeah,
A month, some of them, yeah. Even big
yeah.
ones that happens with. So
Mhm.
biggest one of the biggest movies of 2016 was Captain America: Civil War. The My
Interesting.
prediction is one of the biggest movies, or the biggest movie probably of 2026, will be Avengers: Doomsday. Comes out in December. Mark it down, stamp it. That's my 2026 prediction.
I don't know what movie's gonna be big, but you know what I do know comes out in 2026? The new season of From.
I
You
don't know.
never watched From. It's a little gory, it's a little scary. It's not that
Yeah,
gory.
no.
I guess it's kind of gory, but it's a little scary, but like it's pretty good. Once I got into it and I wasn't scared of the monsters anymore, it's pretty good. And they have a new season coming out in 2026. I think Euphoria also comes out with their new season this year as well.
See, I'm just over here waiting for another season of 24 to come out.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're
I don't know
talking
about
about
that.
it. They're
Yeah.
talking about
So
it. We'll see. All
so
right.
yeah.
So that's our comparison of 2016 to 2026. Next week we'll compare 2014 to 2024. This is just
Yeah,
all we're
anyways.
gonna do is
Yeah, this is just our new
year-over-year
direction.
comparisons.
Yeah. Anyways,
Right.
guys, have a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll
Yeah.
see you on Thursday with
Yeah.
a new case.
Yeah. Dun dun dun. True crime.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.